The member for Algoma, Manitoulin.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Speaker, the Conservative government's first budget is bad news for the North, to say the least. Ministries that are dedicated to the development of the northern economy, like the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry, the Northern Development and Mines, has been cut by hundreds of millions of dollars. There wasn't even lip service to the $1 billion in funding needed to build the roads to the Ring of Fire. Even the government's announced their own intentions to interfere with the successful Northern Ontario Heritage Fund. Instead of investing in the North, why is the Premier choosing to cut funding for Northern Ontario economy development?
Questions to the Premier?
Through you, Mr. Speaker, I'll pass this after I answer this question over to the great Minister of Northern Affairs. As he told me this weekend, he travelled in the car 840 kilometres all over the North. He's an absolute champion. But, Mr. Speaker, this morning, I went to the prayer breakfast with everyone from all different parties. There was no political stripes, as I said, when it comes to prayer. We're all of the same stripe. So, Mr. Speaker, I thought I'd do the right thing. And it wasn't the Leader of the Opposition's fault. She had another event, and I respect that. So I did the right thing, Mr. Speaker. I did a prayer for it. I did a prayer considering the leadership reviews coming up in a month. So I prayed for the leader that she would be able to be voted in and she stays on for the next 3 years. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary.
Again, to the Premier, Speaker, quite frankly, I was there this morning, and yes, we need prayers, but with this Premier, we need a miracle. Speaker, to make matters worse, this government made deep cuts to infrastructure spending, which will mean less funding to improve northern roads, bridges, schools, and hospitals. The government once again refused to commit to reinstating the Northlander passenger rail service, the short line between Sault Ste. Marie to Sudbury, the line in regards to the connector between Hearst and Sault Ste. Marie. And as we all know, the cuts to education will hit rural and northern schools the hardest. Premier, why are you making life harder for those that live in Northern Ontario?
Questions to the Premier?
Minister of Energy.
Referred to the Minister of Energy, Northern Development and Mines.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In a marked, if not complete, departure from the truth, the member opposite has chosen to mislead and misguide the people of Northern Ontario.
The member will withdraw.
I'll withdraw.
Stand up and audibly say withdraw.
I withdraw.
Please respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I have heard from folks across Northern Ontario over the past several days, they appreciate the fact that it was actually a Minister of Finance from Northern Ontario who authored this plan, supported, of course, by our entire caucus, Mr. Speaker, creating new opportunities through the Northern Ontario internship program, Mr. Speaker, creating new transit opportunities for all of Northern Ontario, Mr. Speaker. Encouraging the forestry and mining sector, Mr. Speaker, with new incentives so that Northern Ontario can flourish, Mr. Speaker. I'm pretty sure they got the message loud and clear. It was good feedback, Mr. Speaker, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. The next